Countdown clock on the overlay. Chat scrolling fast, can't read a thing. Got my day ones, got some new names. All riding in on this pixel wave. Scene switch quick, that raid just hit. Hype train glow with the stickers lit. I say, yo, fam, this our year. You spam those emotes, fill the screen in hell. Rocking in the new year on Steve's very own. Every fall like a firework blown. From the VODs to the live shows on. We're loud, we're here, we're here. Rocking in the new year on Steve's very own. From the lunch walk to the chat full blown. If you're in this stream, you're never alone. We're loud, we're loud, we're here, we're home. Take that shot when the timer drops. Hit go live and the beat just pops. Got bad jokes and my best friends, turning quiet nights into wild weekends. Pull up chairs in a digital room, turn that late night scroll to a full-on boom. I say 3, 2, 1, let's ride. You flood the screen, all caps in the sky. Rocking in the new year on Steve's very own. Every follow like a firework blown. From the VODs to the live shows, oh, we're loud, we're here, we're home. Rocking in the new year on Steve's very own. From the lurch one to the chat full blown. If you're in this stream, you're never alone. We're loud, we're here, we're home. Type it out, let me see those hands in the chat all across the lands. From the small screens glow to the massive dreams, we're building this brick by brick as a team. New year, same crew, new plans to own. New clips, new bits, new inside jokes. Turn it up till the neighbors know. Steve's very own, let the whole world know. Rocking in the new year on Steve's very own. Every follow like a firework blown. From the VODs to the live shows on. We're loud, we're here, we're home. Rocking in the new year on Steve's very own. From the lunch one to the chat full blown. If you're in this stream, you're never alone. We're loud, we're here, we're home. 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 Click on the stream, light the spark. Steve's very own, tearing
This is
through
none of your
the
affair,
dark.
because she is your boss and she is a woman. She is a strong, soft, thoughtful,
in the breeze.
sexy woman.
Building his world one clip at a time. Pixel by pixel, climbing the climb.
Ow!
No guide, just the screen's glow. Steve very own and the show. Hey chat, you there? Hey chat, who cares? Steve's very own. Breaking the code. He's got the fire. Riding the load. Steve's very own. The crowd's his home. Streaming a soul into the unknown.
What a boomer.
Gamepad shaking, voice alive. Every moment's fight or survive. Boomers laugh, cuts through the air. Trolls and fans, they're all out there. Pixels crackle as the scenes collide. He's got the heart to
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are from. Welcome to the stream. How you guys doing today? I'm a legend in my own mind. Happy Sunday. Hope you're enjoying your day. Hope you're enjoying the start of your day, the end of the day, or are you in Monday? It's been a long, excuse me, of course, coffee starts taking effect, loosen everything up. It's been a long week for my family, especially my wife, and that her father passed away this week, and so I didn't do much streaming. It's just those that go through this have gone through this know exactly what we're going through. So please excuse me if I'm a bit tired. Um, you know, um, we'll get back to normal soon. So not to bring the stream down at all. Just wanted to let you know what was going on. So today we're back on the Linux stream. Let's get some music going. Again, if you're on YouTube, you're not going to hear any music, but if you're on Windows Linux, see what I mean? If you are on Twitch, you will be hearing some music. But yeah, I'm pretty proud of the setup that I've done here on Linux, getting it pretty close to what I have going in Windows. A lot of workarounds, a lot of different applications. There's not a lot of, shall we say, plug and play options for Linux. My actions, I do use StreamerBot. You get StreamerBot to work. It's still a Windows application, but you get it to work in Linux by either doing the wine install or, like I have it, the bottles. So there's a application called Bottles, which is basically an easier way, depending on your point of view, um, more GUI oriented to installing Windows applications on Linux. And Bottles also has some curated Windows apps that you can easily click on, and StreamerBot is in there. And if you use StreamerBot on Windows, coming and using it on Linux, there is, several things that's not going to work, right? But majority of it does. All my actions work, and actually, I just ported because StreamerBot is portable. Once I installed it in Bottles, I just brought my folder over from Windows into Linux. Did I have to do some adjustments? The difference is that Windows for text sources uses text GDI, and Linux uses either text freestyle, or you can download a OBS plugin, pthread, which gives you a little more functionality with the text and how you can use it. The only real difference between the text freestyle pthread and then text GDI. Text GDI also has, you can do a colored background just in that text box. You can't do that. You have to edit a color source over in Linux. So you got to change some of those over, or maybe some of the actions. And for me, it works. Had to do some adjusting. I did make my payment. Mark that complete. But if you're using StreamerBot on Windows, chances are you're also using SpeakerBot, and SpeakerBot doesn't work in Linux. There are maybe some that kind of got it to work, but the big difference is SpeakerBot uses the Windows voice dictation system to do TTS and to have voice speaks. You can have different voices. You could use some AM Monster TTS, Azure, Google, a couple others to give, custom voices to your stream for text or actually seeing changes in that. Linux has nothing like that. You can install programs for voice control on that. So I had installed uh, a program called Vosk, which is a voice control. It's also cross-platform. So Nate over in StreamerBot, if you're looking for a way, I don't know if it's possible to kind of replace some of the, especially in StreamerBot, the voice activation with Vosk. You won't have to worry about porting over something different for Linux because also it's, like I said, it's cross-platform, so it works on Linux and it works on Windows and Mac. So my voice control, so as I'm talking, I don't want to touch, look at the buttons and that. Oh, Cody's here.
Steve, someone has joined the chat on YouTube.
Oh, hello there.
Hey, Cody, how are you today? Hope all is well with you. Nice having those weekends off, huh? I bet the girlfriend likes it, and and that you have your evenings off. See, you work hard and you get some good things out of it, right? But anyway, so SpeakerBot doesn't work in Linux, but I found a program that someone had just created, which is a drop-in for SpeakerBot on Linux called Speakaboo. It's relatively new, but it works really fine. It's an alpha, and it's not as full featured as what SpeakerBot is because you can't add those custom AI voices to it, but you can add .onyx voices to it. Need to make the announcer when it text me, it'll announce, Steve, get ready to be
Steve,
gassy.
Someone has joined the chat on Twitch.
Novinha descendo na 4x4. Welcome to the mar. Cerveja gelada, piscina e churrasco. Welcome to the mar. O modão batendo no grave pesado.
Nova Charter, you have to use your hands like a baby's toy. It's the non-Italian in me coming out. Cody volunteered to work a little on Easter and requested Friday off and be working evening Saturday. Okay. You're an industrious young man. I salute you, sir. What? You don't like the hands, Nova? Well, I can work on that, Cody. I can work on some specific voice, kind of voices or whatever setups. I can do that now on Linux. It's easy on Windows. So Speakaboo uses Piper TTS, which is a text to speech on Linux, and it uses the OBS, and it uses the StreamerBot WebSocket and the UDP link. No, voice control is pressing buttons like computer, right monitor. Like that.
Here is the right monitor, boss.
And that's one of the voices out of that I added to Speakaboo. I took the girlfriend and the kids to an Easter egg hunt and recorded her little one on my glasses. Oh, cool. Until all of a sudden you're showing your girlfriend, right? And also she'll, wait a minute, those aren't Easter eggs. Coffee. Remember that scene in Back to the Future 2 in the Cafe 80s? Oh yeah. Okay. Computer main view.
I'm making coffee. Anybody
Here is
want
the main
coffee? I'm
view,
making
boss.
coffee. I'm having a cup of coffee. Does anybody want coffee? Because I'm having a cup of coffee.
There we have that. Someone announced, "Hey, you want some coffee?" Drank a lot of coffee this week, I'll tell you. So I don't know if you caught it earlier. It's been a bit of a rough week. I have, without getting into too much detail, simply said, my father-in-law passed away a week ago. And all the services in that were this week, so it was a long week. He was going to be very missed. I'm was very honored to. I'm not a religious guy. I'm not at all, but I will say I am blessed with the in-laws that I have, and he's going to be very very missed. So if I sound a little froggy, if I look a little tired, it's if I use my hands too much, that's why. So not that I need any sympathy in that. It's but he was a good guy. Thank you, Cody. Appreciate that. So I'm a little out of it. I'm trying to get back into things. Um, just tired. I need a new mattress too. I was looking at new mattresses yesterday. Um, thank you, Nova. There is I don't know if they're out by you guys, but there's a mattress store called Hassleless Mattress. No salesman. A showroom, mattresses, and you. That's it. And you can lay on every bed, be there as long as you like, and if you find the one you want, you can order it. And because they have no salesman, um Cody bought his on Amazon. Yeah, I laid on I laid on most of them. To me, some of the one, depending, God, the ones that are designed for your back, and maybe it's because I'm not used to it, but I laid down and it hurt my back. And I like their level of softness or hardness numbers. And I did my son, what time did you go to bed last night? 1-ish, 2-ish. What time do you want to go to gym? 2-ish, 3-ish. So it's very firm as 1-ish. Then there's 2-ish, 3-ish, 4-ish, and then 5-ish. Jesus Christ, 5-ish one, you just sink, it's like really soft. It's like, and some of those, because I'm not extremely mobile and my back, were hard to roll into in that, but I found 3 of them that were relatively comfortable, took pictures of them, and I'll look at the prices and that. They do have a sale going. Most of the mattresses were $300 off, and they were given a free. Why did it go to story time?
You are not going to talk about Linux again, are you?
No, I'm not going to talk about Linux. But why did it go to story time? I didn't say story time. Computer main view. I
Here
bet you
is
it
the
was.
main view, boss.
I bet you it was my thumb. I can deactivate the forward back button on the side in Windows. I can't do that in Linux, and I'm like, oh, tell us a story, old wise one. But yeah, so I'll look at it. But that was just different, It's like, I'm sure they got plenty of cameras all over the place. And there's probably someone monitoring in the back. Not that anybody's going to walk out with mattresses and that, but that was my big thing yesterday. Because the mattress that we have, there's a metal that comes around it, and that like the ends of the springs are connected to, and the bars kind of overlap, and I think they used to be wrapped and those came off, so now they're sticking up like this, and if you sit on the edge of the bed wrong, you get poked up the ass. Oh boy. But yeah, so but yeah, enough of mattresses. Laying down on the job. My brother-in-law works for a mattress place. I could go through him, but he's way up on the north side. Always accuse him of laying down on the job. But yeah. But with the Linux setup where I was talking about Speakaboo, there are a lot of Onyx created voices out there. It comes with Piper TTS. You use Onyx voices, and they're pretty decent. Actually, much better than what was on like the SAPI 5 in Windows. It was cool that the mattress was in a vacuum seal. Oh, did you cut it open?
Someone has joined the chat on YouTube.
Welcome to my life.
Hello, Melon. How are you today? Welcome back. Cody, you see those TikTok videos and that where people, I think, ordered mattresses and that from Temu, and they cut, and they're foam, so they're vacuum packed, and they cut the plastic, and then the thing explodes open of that. I'm doing okay, Mom. That's saying it's been a long week. We had a death in the family, so it's just getting back to normal here. I would, you see some of the cool stuff in Temu, but they're all like vacuum, or they're all like foam created, and then they put them in this vacuum plastic, like chairs and all that. You wonder how long they call it memory foam, but that memory foam gets Alzheimer's really quick. Like I got slippers, memory foam slippers. After using them a lot, they just become as flat as can be. But yeah, so. But again, I'm streaming on Linux, and you can see it's the only difference that you can tell if I'm on Linux is I have purple for my Linux setup, and then blue for my Windows setup, and the purple is for Endeavor OS, because they have kind of purple in their logo. But pretty much everything I got now works, with a little bit of changing. The big difference is, because at least right now on Linux, if you are in a Wayland windowed environment, there are custom docks do not work in OBS. And it is a Chromium embedded framework issue. They're working on it. There's been some updates. I noticed that there were quite a few Ceph updates when I last updated my system. So once they work that in, we can go back to browser docs, and then I can go back to using VSTs for my voice changes. But right now I have to use it's on Linux. It's called Easy Effects, and it was a little bit different setup in it. Speaking of Easy Effects and that, how's the voice sounding today? I know I streamed a little bit on Wednesday, and we had to play around with the mic a little bit. Does everything sound okay today? You never bought anything on Temu, but it bought stuff on Wish. Now, I never heard of Wish. I wish I did. I don't know. But yeah, people getting their vacuum packed foam packages and that, and then they think they're cutting it where it's going to go one way, and it just throws them back against the wall. Just insane stuff. I'll tell you, TikTok, with the start of the short video format, TikTok should be called Idiots of the World Unite. Well, Melon, I thank you for stopping in. I appreciate you saying hi. I know it's very late for you. Well, not at this time. Let's see. I believe you're 8 hours ahead of me or more. So it's in the afternoon. When I stream at night is when it's late for you. Okay, 4 o'clock. Yeah. So you're 7 hours ahead. Well, go do your homework. Be a good student. Get them A's. And thanks for stopping by. You like doing your homework before 6? Well, that's, at least you got it planned, right? At least you do it. So take care. Thank you for coming in. But there's, I guess, good things. I've seen some good things on TikTok. But man, the majority. Oh, what have I been? Oh, the flat Earth stuff on TikTok, the the moon landing deniers, the I'm sorry, I know you are you're a good believer, Cody, but my God, the wacky Christian stuff, holy Christ. To the TikTok boobies and booties and oh my God. I do not have a TikTok account. I do not. I don't have an Instagram account. I'm getting ready to finally, I'm just so fed up with Facebook. You had it, but you deleted it. Yeah. I mean, you'll see a lot of TikTok reposted videos on YouTube. So, but I was looking yesterday. So, and kind of bouncing around here, but I was looking at the mattresses. I was looking at places to go. I was looking up mattress. I looked at Mattress Firm and Hassellus and all that. Almost every ad in Facebook was about a mattress. Then I'm watching YouTube, and almost every ad between videos was a mattress video. You got Facebook, but hardly ever get on it. I mainly get on Marketplace. I have to check that out. I've heard some good thing. My sister-in-law loves Marketplace. I know streamer YS Books, she loved Marketplace. She's a lot of stuff on there. She picked up stuff. But did you hear then that did you hear about the girl that won a $20 million lawsuit against YouTube because of saying that YouTube addicted her to the algorithm and that addicted her to YouTube? And then there's Facebook Meta is losing about with the same thing. The algorithms. Oh, you were looking at this? You haven't made your. Let me show you some more. But Facebook is really, oh, there's a post from my friend. Ad, ad, ad. And they're not little ads, right? In Facebook, depending on the app, they're full frame ads. Then they make it look like a post. That's how bad those are. And you can sit there so I play a game. How many of these can I delete? You won't see this ad again. Oh, but you'll see something like it. And I see also, I'm lucky. I'm outside of like my back, I'm pretty healthy. I have no medical issues. I have no high blood pressure. I have no diabetes. I have no high cholesterol. And I'm going to be 70 years old this year. But I get all these ads about heart and cholesterol and all that in Facebook. And I don't look that stuff up. And I always delete irrelevant, and they keep. I understand that they gotta, stay in business and that, but I think Facebook is the worst with the ads. At least YouTube, majority of the time, you can skip into so many seconds into the ad, you can skip them. But even then, now they're making you watch almost full ads. I got a Roku TV, but you start a video on YouTube and you get 30-second plus commercial that you cannot skip. But at least they still kind of allow that. But yeah, oh, what a world we live in. The only ads you get is on Marketplace. The problem is I should remove Facebook from my tablet. I don't have it on my phone, so it can't access anything on my phone. But on my tablet, it just makes it just as bad. Whereas if I'm on my, pretty much only certain things I use Firefox for, because Firefox has got the Facebook fence. I should just do my Facebook on the computer if I do it. We've had some, earlier this year, my uncle, my godfather passed away. He was the last of my mom's siblings. He was the youngest brother. So at this point, I have no, on my mom's side or my dad's side, I have no uncles left. So the cousins are staying in touch that way, I wonder if it is better to do WhatsApp. I don't know. But I don't know. Magazines with their ads, I've always, they've never really caught my attention. Every once in a while, you'll see an ad that's funny. Or you like to watch some of the old ads from the 60s. Remember, when food was good, fast food was good. Sometimes I have to refresh the music button. But anyway, we all know what all those, social apps do. And I still have an account on X, but I haven't been on X in a year now. I do Blue Sky, but Blue Sky is still kind of small. But the crap will come to Blue Sky soon. It won't stay away forever. But so I get back to my Linux setup. So during the week, or let me put it this way. So I use I'm on Endeavor OS, which is an Arch-based system in Linux. The official installs for OBS are for Ubuntu-based systems using a download link on OBS.
Someone has joined the chat on Twitch.
Welcome, traveler.
Hello, Hans CCT. What's up? And
Steve, someone has joined the chat on Twitch.
Welcome to the party, Pat.
hey, Lake and Kate. How are you, Katie? Do you prefer just Kate? Does anybody call you Katie? I'm doing good. It's been a rough week. I saw you lurking in Bit Gamey's chat yesterday. Didn't know you followed Bit. I'm doing okay. So I know my wife doesn't always like me to talk about it and that. Her dad passed away last Sunday. So it's been a rough week. We had the services Thursday and Friday. I've known him, my wife and I have been together for 40 years. We've been married for 30, going on 37. And, so he's her dad and he was a good father-in-law. So if I'm tired, if I look bad, if I sound bad, if I mumble, if I grumble, if I don't stay on track, we are pretty tired, but I want to get back into things and that. So I appreciate your condolences. I thank you. He's going to be greatly missed, but so I'm streaming on my Linux system and talking about that. So I had if you're on Linux, the proper installs is if you're on an Ubuntu-based system to use the install from the OBS website, or in Linux, there's Flatpaks. And Flatpaks, are a self-contained app. They OBS has an official version. Now it has to be from FlatHub. Like there's some of the distributions out there like Fedora or maybe even Catch, it has their own Flatpak spin. It's not the official Flatpak. You have to download it from FlatHub, but it's officially supported. The problem with Flatpaks is because it's so different, they're kind of self-contained. There are not a lot of plugins. I use a lot of plugins. I have 31 plugins on my Linux install. I have 33 plugins on my Windows install. Everybody says that's like 30 too many. you know. But to do what we do and to have all this fun, I need those plugins. I did learn, so I was going to switch over, and I did my chat with like Gemini. Of the 30 that I use, 12 are not in a flat pack version, which means that they don't get installed right and the system doesn't see them. But I tried to work, it created me a script to kind of move them over, and I got all but 4 that I pretty much needed because of the way it's systemly installed. Because I was going to move over to the flat pack because it's more stable. I use what they call, there's the Arch user repository for Arch, which everybody packages everybody else's stuff. But there's a version in the Arch user repository for OBS called OBS Studio Titan 642. Titan is the packager of it, but he also works on a Discord OBS forum. So they'll support that. But there's a lot of stuff to do, and I looked at that this week. I thought on snaps, if you like them, I've kind of migrated mostly to flat packs, and I use several app images. But snaps alone, like there's the OBS snap that Martin Wimpress packaged up a long time ago, and it's sort of been updated, and it's got all sorts of plugins in it. The OBS people won't even touch it. If you tell them you're on a snap, and you're having problems, you're on your own. They won't even help you. Cody uses Fedora, but disables the Fedora Flatpak repo. Yeah. I downloaded a Flatpak app called Bazaar, which is their store that's all flat packs. But as far as software, you use what you use. There's people that, and these Hans, excuse me, these Linux people. Oh, snaps take up too much room. Oh, and they're too slow. And Flatpaks, they take up too much room. And you have to install, and yeah. While the shit in the repositories, as they call it, so every Linux distro has a repository you can get a lot of software from, but it's usually versions behind. And doesn't always work well, but it's stable. It's just like operating systems that use whatever package works for you. I use app images because for my YouTube, my music I use YouTube Music, and I use the community packaged version. Which is an app image in that, but it comes with a lot of plugins, one of them being Fortuna to work on OBS. And I use App Image Launcher to integrate them into the system. But after trying to work on getting the Flatpak to work, because the whole thing is, at least with the Flatpak and it's official, if you have the plugins in there, you can look at and you can see if they need to be updated I get all my plugins from the AUR, which a majority of them are packaged by Titan 462, right? Or 642. So if it's a little bit behind, all I got to do is message him on OBS forum and Linux on Discord, and he'll have it updated in an hour or so. But I fixed Cody. If you want to do an 8-ball. I fixed the 8-ball shaking. I found another version, an updated version of the scale to sound. So now the 8-ball shakes. So if you want to do an 8-ball question, be my guest. But I have to find, and I'm still, I've been on Linux for 11 years, but I'm just a year into using Arch full time. And I'm still learning about the AUR and how to install packages and how to look at versions and all that. But I have no simple way to see what, if any of the versions have changed in my install. So I have to look at them manually. I always look at the OBS plugin, the plugin forum, and I have it in descending in updated order, and it'll tell you, and I'll look for mine and to see if I've updated, if it updated, and then doing searches on in the AUR for the plugins. But I did find a new scale to sound, so now my 8-ball shakes with the rattle. So if you want to try the 8-ball. And what else did I fix yesterday? Oh, so the turning off like you like to do, turning me off wasn't working right. The retro plugin for the specific, it's like a CRT boot, wasn't working. And I was looking up I knew Finite Simulator created it, but it was a different, person that packaged it for the AUR. And I was getting ready to message him when they actually updated it. And then I got the updated version of the retro plugin. So now all my retro plugin stuff works. So the turn off the TV works fine now, kind of like this.
Occasionally, so what I try to do.
Oh, wait, don't.
Just bask in their lack of
All
on-trip
right.
glory and enjoy the
Fantastic
Changing the
plastics.
channels on me, huh?
Coming on in.
Oh, Dave, turn me off. That works good now. So, will I stop streaming on Windows? No. I'm very pleased with what I've helped create for my setup. I am going to try to start doing some videos on what I did and how I did it. I have to go back through my notes and get that all set up in that. But what I do, if I can do it and you're on Linux, anybody can do it. It is going to be different depending on what distribution that you have. Like I use a virtual environment in I create a folder. I install Venv, VENV, so for virtual environment. Turn that folder into in that folder it becomes a virtual environment, and that's where I install my Python in that, because Arch usually, and I know Endeavor, they only like a certain Python install, but if you do a virtual environment, you can do any type of Python install, and everything then runs out of that folder. So that's how I have my Vosk set up. That's how I have Speakaboo set up. Because also doing it that way, it's not system-wide. And if I ever get tired of it, I can just delete that folder instead of have to uninstall everything, because it's all in that folder, which makes it easy. Because I've done a couple of things that weren't working out right, and I just deleted the folder and started over again. That's nice about that. Then I have an automated script that starts up once I get OBS going. I have it set up on my desktop. Oops, I don't want that monitor. Look at the fat man. That monitor, not the camera. So this little green button here, that starts the streaming tools. This button here stops the streaming tools. So I open up OBS. OBS is running. I click on this. I get StreamerBot to open up. The chat's on the other screen. The chat will open up. Oh, you don't get to see that. Speakaboo. This is what Speakaboo looks like. That opens up. Then on the middle monitor, that's what to the right monitor. It's hidden right now. Touch portal opens up. So this is what talks to my tablet. This is how I set things up. And you just close it. And then now, so I have all those started and I'm using Dex. I can hide all these and have an open desktop. So, and then I have, this is my voice listener script. It triggers that to pick up the changes in the StreamerBot, because I don't have VSTs and I can't do it in OBS. I have to use Easy Effects to change my voices for my hologram and that. But now I have this automated. It's built in. I put it into my Stream Tools. So I've learned a lot about scripting. I still have a lot to go. Like here's my Speakaboo folder. See, I got Venv installed here. Oh, it took a second for that to come up. Speakaboo has a lot of configurations in that, but that's in one folder. And then I have a OBS folder that I have my other stuff in. So I have a script folder. These are all my voices that will control Easy Effects. Triggers, there's this is what I have in StreamerBot, but it seems like once StreamerBot grabs it, they kind of disappear in the Linux side, but I know they're still there. See, that was the scripts there, and then TTS. Oh, this is my TTS app. So if you send me a TTS, we'll get a nice pop-up on the screen. And then these are applications. So these are my app images. And this is my start stream script and my stop stream script. We can click and look at it. I gotta say that I couldn't have done this by myself. I had to use AI to help me. So I use a combination of ChatGPT, and then I've slowly moved over to Gemini. Gemini, I've been working really well. So we, just in case some of the processes don't close, if I'm starting up again, it will kill all those processes, double check that they're killed, start opening up StreamerBots. It will open up Speakaboo. It'll open up all the app images. Then it starts my voice, the voice control. So where I can use my voice, it starts my voice control script. And then it starts my voice listener script. You can name them whatever you want when you create them. And then when they're all up and running, I get a message from my TTS saying that all stream tools started. So I know that they're all started. So this replaces the plugin I have over in the Windows OBS that's called Auto Start, which you could easily add EXEs to that to get it all started. So it's been a lot of work. This is probably the hardest I've worked on my Linux OBS. Because if I couldn't get it to work, computer, main view, I just didn't use it.
Here is the main view, boss.
And I didn't want to do that because you get that too much in Linux, you know. Oh, well, if it's on Windows and I can't get it to work, I just don't use it. I get that. I understand that, but that's not me. But it's for me, it's a lot of work. Using Chat GPT or Gemini isn't an automatic 100% it's good. Because it depends on your input, what you tell it, what you want. So the more I do this, and I learn where to place things in those scripts and what to add to it. If I want to add another program to start, I know how to do that now. Building scripts are a little bit easier, but the ideas I need, I have a bit of an ability. Like if I look at HTML, CSS, and that, I look at it and go, man, I can't build something like that. But I surely can figure out where I can change things. Like I go to CodePen.io, and they have some great. It's HTML, CSS, JavaScript. It's web pages put together, but a lot of those actually can be used as backgrounds or things in OBS. I've created HTML. This is my lower third. This is HTML setup. This is HTML. I know how to change color and text and all that stuff. Building it is a struggle at times for me, but it doesn't make it 100% go into AI, because if you don't know how to kind of decode what it's giving you, or you don't understand it, you're not going to get something to work right. And so giving it the information the stuff that you are looking for. Like when I was looking to build something for voice control and that, or doing the easy effects setup, I asked it what it knew about Wayland, what it knew about the difference between Wayland and X11, which are the two windowing systems in Linux. We're moving away from X11 to Wayland. Wayland's more secure. So that's why a lot of things don't work right. And you got to wait for some, like a lot of developers to change it in their applications, or like with OBS, they have to wait till the Chromium Embedded Framework people fix up their stuff in that. Whereas Windows, someone's built this in an app, and StreamerBot works 100% on Windows because it was designed for Windows. SpeakerBot works 100%. The difference between SpeakerBot 2 and Speakaboo is SpeakerBot can remove so like your emotes, we see them as emotes, But sometimes you'll see them if the emote is not in the system. Say the emote comes from YouTube, you'll just see like Steve Top, with Steve in lowercase, then the capital T, and then OP. Just and you'll see that, and you're like, what is that? If you send that in TTS in SpeakerBot, you can filter that out, so it won't read the emote. Right now, I don't have a way to to filter out the emote reading. I can probably build something in the action in StreamerBot to block that, and then the AI stuff, like the Google Voice or the Azure Voice or TTS Monster or anything like that. You're not going to get that in Speakaboo because it's just new, and it's not designed for that. But you can find Onyx voices that are used for a lot of TTS home for home systems, home control and that like I have a computer voice that I found, and then there's Alan that does my TTS and that. I was getting ready to build a TTS. I started looking into that, and actually it was Gemini that said, hey, did you know Speakaboo? Pretty much, did you know Speakaboo's out there? And if you know Linux, there are some really weird naming naming schemes that go on in Linux for apps and that. It's like, why, Speakaboo, I guess, instead of SpeakerBot. It's kind of close, but different. Speak. I guess she could have named it SpeakABot. But it's stuff. I'm kind of having fun doing it. It's helping me to create things that I've never thought about doing before. I know, some of the Linux people will go like, oh, I'm never going to use AI. I bet you are. I bet you use it. You just don't say that. So what do I need next? I don't know. I'm people eventually cave in to use AI. I guess I don't know if it's cave in, but it's tantamount to like, say, certain foods. Now, I'm pretty open to a lot of stuff I eat. I will try something, even if it doesn't sound good, it might taste good. We all have different tastes, and especially different parts of the world, food preparation is so different. But I'll give it a try. Others are just like, no, I'm never going to eat that. You know? Did you try it? No, I've never. I know I wouldn't like it. That might be the case, but you just might like it. Like it actually, it took me a long time. It's like the idea of sushi and that it being raw fish. It's uh I love sushi now. My wife, no, she won't eat. She's not a fish eater and that, so we don't often go to a. My son, my son too. He loves sushi. Now he wouldn't eat. If it wasn't Japanese, he probably wouldn't eat it. But that's the way it is with AI too, you know. People almost every Google search is now AI summarized at the top of it. Yeah. And it's pretty good. But in most cases, like using AI, we're paying, and if you do like I'm just doing the free versions. So I know if I did, so like I was using Chat GPT is on 3.5, something like that. And the top version is Chat 5. If you pay for that, you get quicker and more developed research uh, answers, builds, and all that. And the same with Gemini. So far I've tried Chat GPT, I've tried Perplexity and Gemini. And Perplexity was pretty good, but Perplexity is very limited. It will only actually give you three, I guess what you would call the AI results if you're doing a free version, and everything else after is just a web search. It's all a web search, but and they want $20 a month for a paid version. It's like, no. Um, I have found Gemini to be a bit better than ChatGPT in my creations. But at least give it a try. I mean, I've seen a couple of my YouTube Linux friends all of a sudden doing AI stuff for their thumbnails and stuff. I know I got accused of using AI slop because I did a couple of thumbnails of me for my coffee or my Linux or my GeoGuessr, and then I have the AI music for my stream. But I talked about this, I think, last week too, where the evilness to me comes in with AI is these companies that are, letting people go because now they have AI to do their bidding, and that I think that's just gives the richer a chance to get richer. The rich get richer as the poor get poorer. Um, and yeah, I think that is wrong. But as consumers and all that, I know we're getting very limited on where we can buy stuff, but we can also stop buying stuff. I watched, so this ties into, have you seen the new, not the Arnold Schwarzenegger Running Man, but the Running Man that came out last year with Glenn Powell? Yeah, they don't have to pay as much for the, AI. They don't have to pay anything, but it probably, you know what? In the long run, it probably costs them more than paying employees, because these centers have to be built and they have to, do all that. But they don't look at it that way. It's going to reduce the workforce, Where's people going to get money to buy anything? But I watched The Running Man with Glenn Powell we got last night. More dystopian version, not utopian, dystopian version of Running Man. I don't know, was it closer to the book? I didn't read the book. But how networks actually ran a lot of the corporations. It's very, it's disturbing. But I don't know. Everybody's going to have their opinion on it. If you don't want to use it, don't use it. I'm not telling you to use it. Well, Steve, you should just learn how to do this stuff. I guess I could, and I have, and I am. It's helping me learn. But I'm not a paid, I guess I'm making a little bit on Twitch, but it's nothing. I can't pay anybody to build this stuff for me. It's not, it's not doable. So now I have a way to do it. If you don't like it, you don't watch, just turn the channel. Exactly. It's a good tool. Will I use it to, what should I wear today? Or, that kind of stuff. But now I could put things to, ideas. And the idea is going to take or it's not, Okay. But yeah, I watched The Running Man last night. What else? Oh, I started rewatching Battlestar Galactica, the 2002 um release with Katie Sackhoff as Starbuck. I love Katie Sackhoff. And that's about man creating AI, creating computers, the updated version was a whole lot darker than the what did it come out? Original Battlestar 79 or so, 78, 79. Of course, the original Battlestar Galactica was, kind of a ripoff from Star Wars. And the rebooted version was more dystopian and a lot darker. But for sci-fi TV back in the day, the effects still hold up pretty well. It's pretty good. So I've been watching Battlestar Galactica. Finished listening to Battlefield Earth, a 48-hour audiobook. Holy cow. But it had like 69 voice actors and sound effects and musical background, and it was pretty decent. Um, like I said a few weeks ago, Battlefield Earth is one of the few science fiction books. I like science fiction to watch. I'm not a big science fiction reader. I'm more action, adventure, spy, detective kind of novel guy. But Battlefield Earth I've read twice, and it's a thick book. The paperback alone, I don't know, I've never, the hardback, and that's why the audiobook was 48 hours. But if you're looking to listen to something different, you like audiobooks, you like science fiction, listen to Battlefield Earth, regardless of the Scientology. It doesn't tie into Scientology at all. It's not like that. But it's a very well written book. For me to read it twice, And then what else? What else have, doing my Linuxy stuff. Looking to, still improve on the Windows. Speaking of Windows, now, Microsoft has heard the cry that Windows 11 sucks. I have no problem with Windows 11. I don't know if I'm just weird, but all I do use Windows 11 for is my streaming. It's not my daily driver, as they say. I use my Linux. I've been, Endeavor. Endeavor OS is a good, easy way to install Arch. It's as they call vanilla, so there's not a lot in it. I have to create something to refresh my. I think sometimes there's a delay in what the HTML is picking up from Tuna. I could easily have done this without HTML in that, but I wanted something a little fancier. Because you can build something like this with just OBS. And in fact, so where is it? Right, the WAV file is that's from OBS. That's a plugin, waveform visualizer. But it doesn't always update. And it also could be because it's coming from the YouTube app. But Windows, yeah, I don't have a problem. It's just my streaming platform. I don't do a lot of stuff on it. As I'm working on it and building things in that, I may have Twitch or something like on there, but I don't do my daily stuff. That's all still done on Linux. So I like on Windows 11, I never really see ads and I don't have a whole lot of problems. There were a couple of updates that kind of screwed up. That happens on Linux too. Saw my first kernel panic on Linux. I have my wife on Endeavor OS on the laptop. She's not techie or that. Can she get to her browser? Can she get to her a text editor? Can she get to her email? But she was listening to a podcast yesterday, and we had the podcast. She streams the Bluetooth from the laptop to our sound bar for our TV. And all of a sudden it stops. So she, and sometimes, I'll get that on YouTube Music. Are you still listening? And it will pause the podcast or whatever. And she's like, honey, what is this? And I'm like, it was a blue screen with a weird, it almost looked like a QR code, but it was a weird looking thing. And then it said kernel panic. Never had a kernel panic before. Not sure why on his laptop it did it for just listening to playing a podcast. She had nothing else going on. So I rebooted it and actually did an update, and there was a big update. Let's see. Endeavor OS has now gone to Titan, right? It's called Titan, the latest update. And everything was fine. So Linux just screws up too. Windows is not alone in that. But I was listening to Windows Central podcast, so one of the first things Windows is doing is allowing you to move your taskbar again. I guess if you download the latest power tools in Windows, you can get a version of that. It doesn't replace the the taskbar that Windows 11 has now, but you can add, so in Linux, you can move the taskbar wherever you want, left, right, up, down, in the middle, and whatever happened to him. This one guy was building a gaming system and he had the taskbar across the middle of the screen just to be different. These days, I just, in Linux, it was like, oh, Windows has the bottom. I'm going to put it at the top. This is my GNOME desktop. This is what it looks like. Here's the taskbar. GNOME is not normally like this, doesn't have this. I use extensions to fix this. I shouldn't say fix it, to do it the way I want it. This is kind of Windows-like, but it's not why I did it. I can easily move this up to the top here. It's totally different on this distribution or on this desktop. GNOME is kind of different. I use Bing wallpaper. But yeah, I don't see ads. Computer main view. I don't see ads. I see more
Here
ads
is the
from
main view, boss.
I see more ads from like my brother printer monitoring thing in the taskbar than I do from Windows. Big difference for me though between Windows and Linux with my streaming is over on, I use an NVIDIA. I have now a 4060 RTX card. Windows, you can use NVIDIA AR. And so the background removal is through the NVIDIA card. You can't get NVIDIA AR. It's something that I'm not willing to take on yet. I know you can do it in Ubuntu, but there's a lot of steps to go to even try to get it to install on Linux. There is a Linux version out there, but you have to join this. You have from NVIDIA, you got to join this developer thing and this thing. It's like, I don't know if I can get it even to work on Linux, on Endeavor, on Arch. So my background removal, I'm stuck using a plugin that is very CPU intensive, and it would work off the GPU, but there's some things missing on the Linux side to do that. So it uses a CPU, and I'll trigger it now. So this, and it doesn't look what it does. It does okay. And basically, I just needed to work with my couple of my actions, my hologram, my matrix, my flaming, my underwater scene. So it doesn't stay on that long, but right now, CPU went up to 24% of OBS, and the frame rate, I fixed it, but it was gone from 60 to 44 frames per second when this is running. I turn it off, and the CPU goes from 24 down to 12. Because I have a lot going. And it was pretty low. Actually 10 now. 9. So it's slowly dropping. And the frame rate goes back up. So that can screw up the stream. So I don't have it on. I don't want to put up a green screen anymore. But the NVIDIA AR on Windows is so good. It is so good. I don't want to do a green screen. I got really good at setting it up and getting it just right, but sometimes even the slightest difference kind of messes things up. But do I need to do all this stuff? No. But this is fun. It keeps me it helps me to be creative. It helps me to use my mind. My father-in-law was 15 years older than me. He had just turned 85. But very smart man. Oh, very smart man. He remembered stats and all that kind of stuff. And but the one thing I had over him was computers. For someone that would remember things, it just when I set up God, it was like 20 years ago. So he's still in his 60s, early 60s, when I set up a computer for him. Oh, you know us old people, Steve. Here I'm going to be 70. I do this stuff. I think maybe because he didn't really want to, it was something different. If he can play solitaire on it, he was fine. Or if he can get to his horse racing stuff, he loved horses, loved horse racing. If he can get to that stuff, he was fine. But I would go, hey, Steve, could you take a look at the computer? It's kind of acting up. His browser would have like 3 toolbars added to it and this was when he was on well, even it happens on Linux, not as much, but when he was on Windows, like before I went to Linux and switched him over to Linux, with Windows, if you didn't watch, they have all these install ads, and it would be for toolbars, and it would be like literally 3 toolbars. So his browser window got smaller and smaller. And it was all just like coupon stuff and just throwing crap on there. And it took me forever to delete them out. I had that on my father. They actually believed I was a hacker. But anyway. What else? What's been going on with you guys? I'm just rambling on here. Trying to get back into things, trying to get back to normal. What else? You guys like have you guys seen the first official trailer for Spider-Man Brand New Day? Teaming up with Punisher, John Bernthal, Hulk's gonna be in it. Sadie Sink, she's gonna be, one of the first mutants. Jean Grey. I not exactly what I was hoping for. The trailer looks good. Spider-Man, gets new powers. He mutates, whatever. The movie's going to be interesting. Yeah, it's going to be interesting if he battles Hulk at all. Nova got another shelf to hold his 3D printer set up. I wouldn't mind getting a 3D printer. I don't know if I can justify it. I know I would make a lot of stuff for my streaming, clips and mounts and stuff like that. And then things around the house, clips and all that, or hooks, like for my wife's little computer room. But I don't think I can justify buying a 3D printer and not really using it for good stuff. I could probably make a better case for my monitor that I built instead of this wooden monstrosity that I put together. But yeah, take a look at the trailer. It's pretty good. Um, we could take wages now. I mean, Charlie Cox, Daredevil, says he's not in it. But even if he was in it, he'd have to say he's not in it. And I was hoping just for a big street level Daredevil Spider-Man team up. Punisher could have been in that. I think he's going to show up. There is one scene, and it's reminiscent of uh the multiverse Spider-Man, where the three Spider-Men come together. But in the trailer, there's a scene where he's jumping off, and he's up, like it's like up here in the view, but like down here is open. But some of the creatures he's battling are coming this way, and not looking at Spider-Man up there. And it was the three Spider-Men. Well, they're doing that now, where it's just Spider-Man and the ninjas that battle Daredevil most of the time are attacking, and who's below them? I can't see Punisher jumping off a building because they're jumping off a building. Hulk, maybe. And if Hulk is jumping, why does Spider-Man even Hulk can take out all the hand? And then Marvel's really good at misdirection and putting stuff in trailers that don't end up in the movie at all. They did that with Infinity Wars. But still, it looks pretty good. One of the hands comes down with his samurai sword, ready to cut Spider-Man in half, and he zaps it with his webs and then breaks the sword apart. He goes through some kind of mutation or whatever. And they might. Do you want Tom Holland Spider-Man to be organic web slinger like Tobey Maguire, or should he still use, like in the in the comics and all that? I think he still has his web shooters. I never particularly liked the Tobey Maguire organic web shooters. Because if it was real like a spider, wouldn't that come out of his ass? Because don't the webs come out of the tail end of a spider? But because that comes out what, in June, July? So that's going to be coming out soon. And then we should start seeing more trailers for Doomsday, because that comes out in December, right? Hans likes Tom Holland Spider-Man. Yeah, he's been really good. And I like how they've gone back to more practical stunts, practical web swinging, the practical suit. It seems like the practical stuff is coming back, as a lot of stuff is still going more towards AI. But I think that stuff should be there just as enhancements sometimes. Like the very first Iron Man movie, that was all practical. Now, could they do that all the time? I guess it's easier with computer generated scenes. But my God, that takes a long time to do, right? But Spider-Man, yeah, being more grounded. I sure hope. That would be so cool if Daredevil showed up. But Sony wanted another multiverse movie. And they need to get away from that stuff because of the 3 Spider-Men doing so well. And I guess at this point, Tobey Maguire is the only Spider-Man that's going to show up in Doomsday or Secret Wars. And now the if I read right, if I read IIRC, if I remember correctly, the brothers are talking about actually making Secret Wars into 2 parts. So what, like, it starts out with Doomsday and then ends up in, with Secret Wars as the 2 Avenger movies, but now they're talking about maybe making Secret Wars 2 parts because now they want to, they want to pull in all the X-Men, the mutants. And I think we will see less of Avengers stuff in the next few years, and we'll see a lot more X-Men because I guess in a way the X-Men were more popular, but we shall see. What other movies that are non-superhero that are coming out? I mean, you got Supergirl that's going to be coming out. But I don't know if it's coming out or there's a movie I want to see that is covers the D-Day invasion. That has what's his name? Moriarty from the Sherlock series. Andrew Scott. He plays a weatherman. Let's see. Andrew Scott. Oh, this is weird. Computer right monitor. I did a search for
Here
Andrew
is the
Scott
right monitor, boss.
D-Day movie, and look what the AI must not like when I'm talking about AI. I don't know. Andrew Scott stars. Freaky. But the movie's called Pressure. When does that come out? In the tense 72 hours before D-Day, General Dwight D. Eisenhower and Captain James Stagg face an impossible choice: launch the most dangerous seaborne invasion in history or risk losing the war altogether. He plays Andrew Scott plays a weatherman. I like him. He's a good actor in that. But Brendan Fraser as Dwight D. Eisenhower, but Damian Lewis as Monty. And one weatherman said, "Oh, it's going to be perfect weather," and that, and Scott's like, "No, it's going to be a terrible storm." But I definitely want I want to see this movie for sure. What movie did we just my wife and I just watched. It was, my God, like, was it one of the Oscar films? Sinners we saw last year, which is a brutal movie. Um, do. I thought it was Academy Award, but no, no, it was actually. God, I can't. I'm just like so out of it. Let's go to IMDb. Oh, we're gonna see. Is it next week or the week after? We're gonna go see Project Hail Mary. It's whenever the Mario movie comes out. Because my son's gonna see the Mario movie, and my wife and I are gonna go see Hail Mary. But that is what we want to see. One Battle After Another was a kind of a weird movie, but it was good. It was pretty good. Not your typical um Leonardo DiCaprio movie. And Sean Penn's pretty good. No matter what you think about his politics and that, he's a pretty good actor. Let's see, where's the coming soon. Here we go. Let's see if this is updated a bit. Oh, so this week the Super Mario Galaxy movie comes out. So yeah, I think Friday we're gonna go to the movies. My son's gonna see that, and we're gonna see Hail Mary. Um, not much there. Yeah, a couple like this isn't. I guess Brendan Fraser is going to do the Mummy 4, but I think they're going to like forget the it's going to come right after 2 or something like that. They're going to change that up a little bit, but that's not it. There's a couple Mummy movies that are out. Um let's see. I know my wife's looking forward to Devil Wears Prada 2. The Sheep Detectives, Iron Maiden documentary. I guess they're worried about this one. They're worried about Mandalorian and Grogu. That it would have just been better as another Mandalorian series, not a movie. But I guess we'll have to wait and see if you're a Star Wars fan. Let's see. We got Masters of the Universe. This Disclosure Day looks weird. Is it about aliens or is it about evil spirits? I don't know. I haven't been able to figure that out yet. Here we go. We got Toy Story 5 coming out. The Death of Robin Hood. What's that one? He was no hero. Grappling with his past life after a life of crime and murder, Robin Hood finds himself gravely injured after a battle he fought would be his last. In the hands of a mysterious woman, he is offered a chance of salvation. There we go. Super Bowl coming out in June. Minions and Monsters. All right. Live action Moana. The Odyssey. Anybody up for a good long movie? There we go. July 31st. Spider-Man, Brand New Day. I saw the trailer for this movie, The End of Oak Street, with Anne Hathaway and Ewan McGregor. All of a sudden, where they live disappears and ends up in another time. There's it looks pretty weird. Jason Statham and Mutiny. Every Jason Statham movie is the same. After his billionaire industrialist boss is murdered in front of him, Cole Reed is set up to take the fall for the crime, leaving him on the run as he works to uncover an international conspiracy. Typical Statham. And they're working on Beekeeper 2. They're finally going to release this Coyote versus. I don't remember the controversy behind this. Coyote versus Acme. They held off on it for a long time. Story set in the Acme warehouse, a manufacturer of anything and everything used by the Looney Tune characters. Let's see. A Christmas movie in September. Kevin Sorbo. Kevin Sorbo. He's a weird one. For Airbender fans, The Legend of Aang, The Last Airbender. New Street Fighter movie. Clayface. I don't know. What do you think about the, like DC and Marvel, actually mostly Sony, trying to do characters from like the Clayface is from Batman, but it's not going to have Batman in it. Now, Penguin was pretty good, but Colin Farrell is a very good actor, so that was a good, series on HBO. But is it worth a movie? This is what I'm waiting for. Godzilla -0. To see how well they did this one. They haven't released any trailer off it except this one. It was just Toho presents. You don't see any Godzilla, I think. But Godzilla -0 was good, or -1 was good. 0 should be. Hopefully, they do it just as well. And who prefers Godzilla as the bad guy or the good guy? Do you like the US version of Godzilla with Kong? Because that one will be coming out, the new uh Kong universe or Godzilla Kong universe will be coming out soon. This should be interesting. Ebenezer, 'cause my wife we love the Christmas Carol. We go see it every year at the Goodman Theater in Chicago. Play. A thrilling ghost story set in Dickens' London, following one man's supernatural journey to face his past, present, and future as he fights for a second chance of redemption. But Johnny Depp as Ebenezer, that should be pretty interesting. They're finally coming out with a new Hunger Games movie. Oh, I got Return of the Living Dead. Okay. Taking place 18 months after the events of the Anita warehouse in Louisville, Kentucky, a new toxin leak puts a small Pennsylvania town on the brink of a zombie outbreak during Christmas in 1985. Anybody fed up with zombie movies or zombie stuff? As a kid, I remember when they finally released Night of the Living Dead on TV. I think it was on um, uh, what was it? Svengoolie, that they I don't know if Svengoolie was around the country, but in Chicago, Channel 32 had Svengoolie where we would do the horror movies and that. But another zombie movie, okay. Fokker-in-Law, like Meet the Fockers, they're finally doing, I don't know about that. Well, there you go. Violent Night 2 with David Harbour. And then December, Dune Part 3 and Avengers Doomsday come out. Then Angry Birds, Jumanji 3. The fourth and final installment in the Jumanji franchise is the direct sequel to Jumanji: The Next Level, the third film in the series. Have you seen the movie Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die? No, I haven't. I love yeah, if I could remember his name, I'd love him even more. Uh he is always interesting. Oh, the fourth. I guess they're counting the one with the very first Jumanji movie in that. Yeah, anytime I get to see Kieran Gilliam barely dressed, that's good. Then here we go in January, The Beekeeper. Airbud returns. Why? Why? I don't know. Another Ice Age movie. An untitled Glenn Powell, Judd Apatow Universal project. Okay. I like Glenn Powell. He's really pretty good. Michael B. Jordan's doing the Thomas Crown Affair again. They're redoing The Exorcist. This time with Scarlett Johansson. Oh, the new Sonic the Hedgehog movie. Here we go. Godzilla Kong Supernova. Oh, really? Godzilla and Kong face off against a cataclysmic threat? I like these Godzilla movies and that, but I really did enjoy the new it took me back to the beginning. But let's see. Oh, come on. Good gosh. There we go. Sam Rockwell. I love Sam Rockwell. Did you ever see Mr. Right? With Anna Kendricks. I didn't particularly like Anna Kendricks before this movie. I watched Mr. Right, and then I kind of fell in love with her. But no, I haven't seen this yet. We want to see this though. This will, my wife will get it when it comes. She'll order it for the library, and then we'll watch it. See, it's great having a wife that works in the library. If they don't have the movie, she'll have it ordered, mainly so we can watch it. But Sam Rockwell is always really good. He's very interesting. Always interesting. Computer, main view. Computer, main view.
Here is the main view, boss.
So, some interesting entertainment. I am not just a sci-fi action adventure Godzilla guy. Although those are my go-to movies in that they just take me to another place, right? But I love a good, well-acted movie. Ones that make you think. We were in the middle. We both fell asleep. We started watching it Friday night. On Amazon Prime. I got Prime right now. The Channing Tatum movie Roof Man. That's actually pretty good. I just couldn't stay up any longer. I think I had 30 minutes left to go, and he was just making another bad decision. But I guess it's based on a true story of a guy that was really smart and all that. But he got caught, but broke out of prison. And then he could get caught again, I guess. I don't know. I don't see anything particularly good coming out of it. We'll see.
Steve, someone has joined the chat on Twitch.
Xandex. Channing Tatum's character in Roof Man. He's called the Roof Man because he I guess broke into like 45 McDonald's down south through their roof and ended up getting caught after that, and sent to prison for the last job that he did. And they couldn't prove that he did the others. They knew it was him, but the judge, they had added, he had locked like 3 people in the freezer, but told him, "Don't worry, I'll call the police. They'll come and they'll let you out." And but somehow he screwed up somewhere and ended up getting caught. And the judge tacked on kidnapping charges. So he got 100 and what was it, 180 months per charge. There were 3 people involved. So he was going to spend about 45 years in prison. And he ended up breaking out, and he hit out. He figured after 30 days. Yeah, I get. Well, back in the so back in the day, at least I should say back in the day. I think this takes place, and let me look it up. In the mid 80s. Oh, in the 90s. So let's see. The 2025 film Roof Man is based on a true story of Jeffrey Manchester, a convicted robber in the late 1990s, known for drilling through the roofs of McDonald's and other stores, according to People.com. He famously escaped, lived in a Toys R Us. So he figured that after 30 days, he would have a better chance of escaping. So he hid out in a Toys R Us behind a display that was hollow. And at night, he would sleep during the day and at night come out. And it's set up as a bit of a comedy in a way, but it's about someone that's very smart, very intelligent, very observant, but makes bad decisions. And he falls in love with one of the workers. He sets up cameras himself and all that. I don't know how he had gotten along, but he figured that if he can hide out for 30 days, then he has a better chance of really escaping and not getting caught again. But he falls for this employee at the Toys R Us, and things don't work out well for him. So it takes place in the 90s. Let's see. The Roofman crimes, he committed 40 to 60 plus robberies targeting fast food restaurants by cutting through the roof, usually in the early morning. He was very polite. He was known for being remarkably calm and polite during the robberies, sometimes even giving employees tips on how to stay warm. He lived in a toy store after escaping prison. He lived inside a North Carolina Toys R Us for several months in 2004, where he survived on baby food and rode bicycles. Yeah, like in this, I guess in the movie, maybe McDonald's paid for it. They had him breaking into all these McDonald's, but here it says that he was um targeting fast food restaurants because they would have their money, things change over the years, and fast food would take a lot of money and they would only be picked up. He knew that they were their cash pickup was like every Monday. So he would do it on a Sunday night while the safe was full. He would break in, wait till employees came in, got them to open up the safe, and then he took the money. Because he was trying to support his three kids, his kind of estranged wife. His final arrest, he was caught after his fingerprints were discovered in his hidden room within the store. Um, So he was sent back to prison, and he's not due to be released until 2036. And he still has made several escape attempts. So I'll see how the movie. Like I said, I haven't seen the end of the movie though. But yeah, one of the guys, he gives him his jacket and that. But let's see, did he date? Oh, so they changed it up. So in the movie, he's he falls for this woman that works there. Not that they met there while he was hiding out, but I guess he set up cameras in that, um, baby monitors in that, baby cameras around so he can keep a tab on the employees while he was hiding out. At least in the movie he did. And but I guess he did not date a woman from work. He would get out and he uh he met her at a church. And they do, it's like the movie Song Sung Blue, um about these Neil Diamond, um uh what do they call them, im- not impressionists and that, where they would play Neil Diamond. The guy dressed as Neil Diamond and that, and did his shows, and was very popular up in Wisconsin area. And they kind of took liberties on, let's face it, most of our really lives. Tribute band, thank you, Nova. Tribute band. And they changed the plot around, to make the movie more interesting. And that's what they did with Roofman. So they've changed it around. It's not the true life story. It's a true movie based on a true happening. But in the movie, he's saying he's like a secret government agent on a secret mission, and it's like, why would anybody say something like that? Hiding out. That's like red flags. I can't tell you what I'm doing, but I'm doing something. But I guess the girl finally turns him in and that. So we'll see in the movie. I have to watch the rest of the movie. But the last movie, not um the Wolverine Deadpool movie, but he did a movie before that. Let's see. Let's see. Um, no, there was movie that he was in that was actually pretty good. I thought it just came out. Looking it up here. Where is it? I can't remember. He plays they rob a is it a racetrack or a football game or something like that? Was actually a pretty good friend of mine, Vince recommended it. But I don't see it in his IMDb here. I didn't think it was that old. Now it bugs me because I got to figure it out. I know it's not that old. Oh, it is. Oh, it was that low. Logan Lucky is the movie. That's a good Channing Tatum movie, actually. Logan Lucky. Couldn't remember the name. It had Adam Driver and Daniel Craig in it. Daniel Craig was really good in this too. So a good Channing Tatum movie is Logan Lucky. I didn't realize it came out in 2017, but I thought it was relatively newer. I couldn't remember the name of it. So this is get a chance. If you want to see a different, good movie in that. Um, and I hate this.
Someone has joined the chat on Twitch.
Hi, welcome back. Certainly glad you could join us today.
Hello, DJ 506. How you doing, my friend? Welcome to the stream. Did you do Pants Off Sunday yet? Congratulations on your 6 years. DJ 506 reached his 6th year. Thank you. I was not scheduled to be on the raid train, but somebody dropped out, so you'll be on at 6 p.m. Eastern. Okay. I'll look for you if I'm let's see. About that time I'm taking my son's friend home, so I'll try to catch you on that. But that's last night was your 6-year anniversary on streaming on Twitch, right? So congratulations on that. So if you like a open format DJ, check out DJ 506 and see the actions in that he's got going on. Yes, last night was fun. Thank you for stopping by. I do appreciate it. Oh, thank you for streaming and that. So we've just been talking about movies here, coming up and that. Logan Lucky, it was a Channing Tatum movie that I think is definitely worth seeing. It is a very good movie. But of course, it was directed by Steven Soderbergh, and he's really good. And I was just going to say, this whole Prime, the streaming stuff. Yeah, you get Prime, and there are still movies you got to rent or buy, and they're not new. A lot of them are not new movies. I wanted to start watching Battlestar Galactica again. Well, I'm picking up the DVDs at the library. On Prime Video, you got to rent them. It's like, what the or if you want to do it without commercials, you got to pay an extra $4 a month or something like that. It's just fucking ridiculous. It just gets so ripped off. So ripped off. Computer main view.
Here is the main view, boss.
So here's my Linux setup, DJ. I'm on my Linux setup today. And oh, I gotta check out my TTS if you want to do a TTS. So I found a TTS for the Linux side, and though they might not be real great computer generated voices, they are pretty good. There's files. It's .onyx. They're voice builds, and when I change scenes, if I do it verbally, like computer left monitor.
Here is the left monitor, boss.
I have it speaking. It's the computer, I believe, from Interstellar. And I found Bobby's voice from not the Simpsons. What's the Hank Hill? What's that? And I got actually a Data and a Picard voice. But this is the stuff that I actually built with the help of AI for my Linux setup to get it close to the Windows setup. A lot of more work, but I'm having fun with it. Computer, main view.
Here is the main view, boss.
And then I don't know if anybody really knows, but you can play the drop game while I'm streaming. Just do command drop. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Oh, just missed. So you can do a drop game while I'm playing, while I'm doing stuff. So that's the stuff I've been working on. No. Oh, he's gonna. Oh. Just missed. I know it's the little stuff in that. That's not just a Linux thing. That's actually from Pixel Plush, I think it's called. You can do a bunch of different little games there and that. I think there's a fishing one and things like that you can do. But yeah, my build on Linux is coming along. But have been wanting to show it off, and will it stop me from streaming on Windows? No, because there's still many things that I can do on Windows that I can't do on Linux. but I'm getting close. I built um the voice system. It's through an install called Vosk. Do you remember when your DVD player was paused and the DVD logo screensaver would come up? I saw someone have that in their stream, but it used your profile pic instead. I would count how many times you hit the corner. No, I haven't seen that. I do have a VHS pause that actually it cuts out all sound and everything, and I'm just frozen. It looks like oh, that didn't go off too smoothly, did it? I think I have to do a transition override on that one. That didn't end too smooth. But yeah, I got that idea from well, it's from finite stuff. And then I have a TTS, the voice I use, it's an English voice. It's actually from someone from the Linux community that lent his voice. His name's Alan. That will read the TTS, but then I have a message that pops up on the screen and then goes away. So I have that. That's one of the newer ones. Ow! But I think I gotta build or put in a refresh button for my music player. Sometimes it gets delayed. But yeah, those are, it's some of the stuff I've been fixing a lot of things. I got because there's some of the plugins that I have that I get through Linux aren't always updated. And because they don't come from like the plugins that I use that maybe are created by Finite Singularity when they're packaged for like I'm on Endeavor OS, which is an Arch-based system. It's someone else that packages it for what it's called the Arch user repository. It's like the Wild West of software. Pretty much if it's made somewhere, it's packaged in the AUR. And they're not always maintained and they don't always get updated. And some of the things are broken, like the scale to sound. And for my 8-ball, my Magic 8-ball, the Magic 8-ball wouldn't shake, but now I got that fixed. I found the right plugin for that. What else did I fix? A couple things I fixed yesterday. Because there is a difference between the Windows setup and the Linux setup. Some especially in the text area, text has to change. But it's coming along. I'm pretty pleased. So if you see purple, I'm on Linux. If you see the blue, I'm on Windows. It's all set up the same, but the colors are different. And then the TTS will be different. The TTS on Windows is coming from SpeakerBot. The TTS from Linux is coming from a program called Speakaboo, which is kind of like someone created a difference, a drop-in replacement for SpeakerBot because it doesn't work on Linux. But it's all coming along. I'm pretty pleased with what I've done. And yes, I've used AI to help me. But Yes, it's yeah. Computer, right monitor. So
Here
yes,
is the right monitor, boss.
it's an alpha version. I was building one with a program with software called Piper TTS, and so I was using Gemini Chat, their Gemini AI, and it found this Speakaboo in Linux. Things are named really fucking weird. It's just the way it is. But so it uses dot Onyx, so you manage voices this way. These are all the things that you can install from different languages in that. Much more than SpeakerBot, because SpeakerBot its basic uses a SAPI 5 out of Windows unless you set up with one of the the cloud services in that. And English, they have these names, and the voice profiles are not that large. The thing about this too, it's all local, so it's very quick. It doesn't reach out to the cloud, and you can find for like home, not home improvement, but home automation, where you have a text to speech when you do like certain commands, like you're doing your Google or something. But if you say, like with I use computer as a wake word for my scene changes and that. So you can get all these voices. The higher the quality, the more it uses, but it's pretty quick. It's not CPU intensive. But then you can download other Onyx files, and so let's see. Right now, this is Vasco was built. I think it's the voice off of the Interstellar, the movie Interstellar, the computer there. I have a K9 from Doctor Who.
This is a test message.
Not bad. Better than Sappy 5. Here's Kronk. I think he's from is he from one of the games?
This is a test message.
Bobby from King of the Hill. That's what it.
This is a test message.
But they're kind of like voice trained, the Onyx files. It takes a while, but you can find these free ones out there. For so scene switch, I use it, leave it on Vasco. I've been looking, and also there's a Picard one, a data one. So and it connects just like SpeakerBot with the WebSocket server. And then I have to set up something a little bit different because I'm using a wine version. It's in the bottles of StreamerBot. And I create a voice reply, and it uses Speak UDP. So it actually, when it detects a scene change, I have it in my script that it has, and it triggers a voice. So you're hearing a computer voice when I verbally change scenes. If I manually change scenes like this, you don't hear a voice. But when I go computer, right monitor, computer, right monitor.
Here is the right monitor, boss.
I have that. The guy on TikTok who goes live with Kit the voice is unbelievably spot on. Yeah, the actor that did Kit, I believe, turned 90. 90? William Daniels. He just had a birthday last month, I believe. Yeah, he was born in 27. So he is what? I can't do my math. Yeah, 97. Yeah, he's and you know he never took credit for the voice on Kit. But I didn't know Val Kilmer did the voice of Kit at one point. He's 99, yeah. But if you voice models, um he didn't want to take credit, yeah, because he didn't want the illusion, ruin the illusion for the children. So some of these places, if you can find files, .onix files, Speakaboo will play it. Ba-da-boom-boom. There's a couple of websites. No. Let's see. But if it's in an Onyx, so you need two files. You need a .onyx and a .onyx.json file. You put the two together in the folder, and this picks it up, and it will do voice and that, and it does pretty well. Um, of course, now I'm not finding the ones that I set up. But like,
Steve's very own says hello there. This iOS Alan talking. Steve's very own says hello there. This iOS Alan talking. Steve is the ounce says hello there. This iOS Alan talking. Steve is the ounce says hello there. This iOS Alan talking.
all right. So when I send it that way through the SpeakerBot chat, it's picking it up multi. But if you want to test it out, But that's right now the one I'm using. Let's see. Or am I spelling it wrong? No, it's not. I don't want ox. It's onyx. Yeah, raspy's a spot. So this is the like all the ones that come loaded. Okay, well, yeah, I'm gonna be getting off anyway. I'm getting hungry, and I haven't had breakfast yet. But thanks for stopping by, DJ. Congratulations on your 6 years streaming. Computer main view.
Here is the main view, boss.
But yeah, it's I like the quickness of it. Even though I use SAPI 5, I don't use the online stuff in the Windows version of SpeakerBot. I do. There is a GitHub program, someone that posted on GitHub that will take the Windows 11 voices, or usually their downloads from Azure, and convert them to SAPI 5. So now SpeakerBot picks up more SAPI 5 voices because the Zira and the David in SAPI 5 are horrible. But this takes the versions in that, and it's a lot clearer. But the Onyx voices for Piper TTS are pretty good. Yes, you can't get a lot of custom voices in there, but I guess if you can use you can train your own. I'm going to look at that and see if I could clone my voice and add it to my Onyx stuff. That's probably going to be one of my next steps. I wish that was in a better ability in SpeakerBot in Windows. But all right, my friends, I think, let's see, we've been on for over 2.5 hours, so that's pretty good. So I am going to say goodbye. I am getting hungry. I need more coffee, and I gotta pee. And oh man, I'm surprised I lasted this long. So computer, time to say goodbye. Oh,
Thank you all for stopping by.
That wasn't smooth. I gotta fix some of these things. I like my move transition, but anyway, I want to thank Cody, Nova, Melon, Hans, Kate, Zandex, DJ 506 for stopping by today and saying hi. I will be on next on Tuesday. We will, again, Tuesday will be Tux Tuesday. We'll be on the Linux stuff. We'll hopefully be back to normal this week. I think between now and Tuesday, I'm going to look at if I can train my own voice for my own TTS. I won't need I took out 10G. I don't have 10G anymore. But thank you for joining me. You guys have a great Saturday, Sunday, Monday, whatever the day it is for you and that. I'll see you. Bye now.